all traders, and welcome on this Thursday, the 24th of September. The news yesterday was the PMI data was finally released. The figures coming out of Europe show that the Eurozone economies barely grew in September. The Eurozone has already suffered a sharper slowdown, with fears it could also drop back into a recession soon. On the other hand, there was a plus side to the story, as a solution to the slowdown could also spur new stimulus measures. In the UK, Britain's private sector is slowing as COVID-19 worries and restrictions are hurting the service industry. The latest survey of the purchasing managers showed that growth is weakening after a very strong August. Economists warn that the latest curbs mean the economy is likely to flatline over the next few months, while a full national lockdown could put Britain back into a recession. The UK Chancellor Rishi Sunak will today announce new measures to help the country through what he calls a tough winter. A strong dollar recently has contributed to gold falling to its lowest level since July, as a sell-off on the safe haven continues. What I want to look at today is some precious metals and oil. So I want to take you through gold first of all. So what I've seen from the beginning of the year is a momentous surge upwards when the risk-off sentiment was on, and we've seen a collapsation in the last couple of months, going down below the 1,900 handle. So if I just zoom in to get a bit more of a shorter term perspective, so I'll put a Fibonacci on the downside as well to where we've seen the recent lows, and at the moment we're seeing a slight confluence line with the two Fibonacci's that I've placed. So what I'll be looking at today is if gold can sink any lower to the 1,850 region, which is close to at the moment, then I'll expect to see if it can maintain the 1,838 region, which is the 61.8%. If it can keep plummeting downwards, then as we can see, it's far away from the cloud at the moment, and if it can stay away, then it has the potential to keep plummeting to the lows we have experienced in July. However, a bounce at this line here could take it back up to the 1,900 region, which is quite significant, as it has been bouncing around that area for the last few weeks. So we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen if it can keep spurring up. So intraday I'll be looking at this, and as we close the month next week, I'll be looking to see if it can keep spurring onwards up until that region and into the cloud. It would be very significant if it can touch the cloud and get back up to the levels that we've seen for most of the last couple of months. On to silver now. The same kind of thing with the precious metal market. We've seen quite an upsurge from the lofty lows of the year to the highs of almost 30, and then we've seen it come back down again in the last few days. So again, quite a huge sell-off due to the strong dollar. And as I put another Fibo in on the downside, we can now see that again, similar to the gold. I'll just zoom in a little bit further for you. We've seen almost confluence levels here. So what I'll be seeing in the next day and also into next week as we close the month is to see if we can bounce off the 21 region. If it goes close to this line, it can easily go back down to $20, which is quite significant, which we have seen in July. So again, as we go to this period here, if it can bounce up into the cloud, then it's easily done if it can get up to the highs that we've seen in the previous months. So as we go into the next trading session tomorrow and into next week, I'll be looking to see if we can get into these areas right here. And just a quick look on the US oil now. Just want to look at the short-term perspective. So I've got the 2-hour chart open. And what I've seen from the last couple of trading sessions is that it's in a range at the moment from about $38 to $41. So I'm just going to put a small Fibonacci in here for the recent levels of the month. So what I can see at the moment is we've got a confluence level of the Tenkan and Kijun lines. We are seeing that it's trying to push higher into the $40 region, which is quite significant because it's found a lot of resistance at that level in the last week. So if we can put a level in here, so basically if it can break the $40 region, we've had two false breaks here in the previous sessions. If it can push higher through there, there's no reason why we can't see previous highs of the month by next week. However, with recent fundamental news coming out, we are seeing a bit of a dry up in demand, so there is a possibility for it to head lower around the lower $39 region. So I'll be looking out for this today to see if it can break this level and then go on to loftier heights that we've seen previously in the month. If not, then I fully expect that it will keep stagnated around the $39 to $40 region, at least for the rest of the week and into next week as well. So that's all from me today. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have any comments, please put them on the video and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Have a great trading day ahead. Bye for now.